Housing affordability is a complicated, complex issue and has a lot of highly nuanced variables. However, in a highly polarized partisan environment, nuance generally goes out the window, and politicians will often opt for a short-term band-aid that might sound good to voters, even if it has a high long-term cost. Over the last 3 months, the Canadian government and CMHC have announced a series of new rules to Canadian mortgages. Although they appear to be in favor of homebuyers, I believe 3 of these changes will lead to higher home prices, especially of newly built homes. Effective as of August 2024, 30-year amortizations will now be allowed for newly built homes being purchased by first-time homebuyers with less than 20% down payment. As of November 2024, most lenders still haven't been able to accommodate these applications, but is coming within the next few months. The second new rule is that the new price cap for insured mortgages will be increased from $1 to $1.5 million. This is the first change to that threshold since 2012 and is available to all buyers and all homes. The minimum down payment will be 5% on the first $500,000 and 10% on the balance. This rule will come into effect on December 15th of this year. Finally, the third new rule that is likely to compound on rising housing prices will also be in effect on December 15th. Those 30-year amortizations that were effective in August are going to be expanded to all first-time homebuyers, not just those buying new homes, and all buyers of newly built homes, not just the first-time homebuyers. On the onset, these are the types of announcements that are easy wins for politicians. Who's going to dispute it? Back in 2006, the Harper government followed the American Bush administration in allowing for 0% down payment mortgages, which had been implemented in 2004. They also allow for 40-year amortizations. Buyers are happy because they didn't need a large or any down payment, and their monthly payments were less than if they had been 25-year mortgages as previously allowed. Sellers were happy because their buyers were getting mortgages approved without any hassle, and prices were rising. Developers and real estate agents, of course, were also really happy because, well, housing was hot. But what were the long-term consequences of these types of policies? In 2004, the American housing market had already increased by 10% in 1 year, which back then was a massive increase. The Bush administration and later the Harper government followed these policies of deregulation while perpetuating the idea that these policies would be helping young homebuyers into the market. However, what happened was these policies poured fuel on the fire of an already hot market, creating a massive housing bubble that collapsed within 2 years. Thankfully, Canada had been several years behind on those policies that had a more regulated market, softening the blow of the infamous housing collapse of 2008. But here we are again, 2 decades later, with very similar policies and politicians perpetuating very similar arguments. Longer amortizations may make your payments less, but it does not make homes more affordable. In fact, it can allow a lender to increase the amount that you and all other buyers are qualified for, hence raising your debt loads and length of your interest payments, which raises the bank's profits. When you apply these rules to a significant portion of the population, such as first-time homebuyers or buyers of newly built homes, you immediately embolden the demand for the housing in that sector, regardless of the supply. Between 2014 and 2020, first-time homebuyers accounted for half of all home sales, and this is disproportionately towards newly built homes. When a government allows millions of first-time homebuyers to have longer mortgage amortizations and lower down payments, what do you believe this does to prices, especially of entry-level homes? I have many clients who have been forced to limit their home purchase to under $1 million because they don't have that $200,000 or more down payment that's required for a home for over $1 million before December 15th. Even though they could otherwise afford the monthly mortgage payments and be qualified for more, according to their lender. As of December 15th, these buyers will now be able to spend up to $1.5 million instead, alongside many other buyers. This immediately changes the landscape of the demand side of the home buyer market. Politically speaking, this is a win. The buyers are happy because they can buy that bigger home. For now, the sellers are happy because now they are less worried about the $1 million threshold. There are more buyers now between $1 and $1.5 million than there was before, and this is a very common bracket. The real estate agents and developers are really happy because their buyers can spend more and have less restrictions. But what do you think? Do you think these new mortgage rules will increase housing prices? What is this going to look like for 2025?